Okay, so
Yes.
we ended up at
Mm,
stage 5, paragraph page 370.
mm,
And our last headword was souvenir, full stage revision.
mm,
Okay, so let's continue from where we ended. Ready? Okay, here we go. First question. What is your normal breakfast? What is your normal breakfast? My normal breakfast
My normal
is
breakfast is yogurt.
delicious, very good. Do people normally feel proud when they do well in exam? Do people normally feel proud when they do well in exams? Yes, people
Yes,
normally
people normally feel
feel proud
proud,
when they do well
feel proud when they do well
in
in
exams.
exam.
Where do you take pride in your work?
Exams.
Do you take pride in your work? Yes or no?
Yes, I
I
take
take
pride
in
in
my work.
my work. I
Ve-
think. I
yes, you
think.
do. Okay, very good.
Mm.
If you were very rich, would you have servants in your house?
Mm.
If you were very rich, would you have
Oh,
servants in your house? Yes or no?
yes, if
If
I were very
very
rich,
rich, I'd have
I
servants
very rich, I'd have servants
in my
in
house.
my house.
Very good. Does a lorry have fewer wheels than a car? Does a lorry have fewer wheels than a car? No. A lorry
No,
doesn't have
lorry
fewer wheels
hasn't have fewer wheels
than a car.
than
It has
a
more
car.
wheels.
It has more wheels.
Okay, one moment. Let me reconnect. We're having a short delay.
Mm.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yes.
About
Mm.
how long is an arrow? About how long is an arrow? An
An
arrow is
arrow is
about a
about
meter long.
what a meter long.
How many centimeters make a meter? How many centimeters make a meter? 100 centimeters
100
make a
centimeters
meter.
make
A
a
meter.
meter.
Very good. Do you know anybody who has long beard? Do you know anybody who
Mm.
has long beard? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
know
never
anybody
know anybody
who
who
has long
has
beard.
long beard.
Very good. Is it false that the opposite of heaven is hell? Is it false that the
Mm.
opposite of heaven is hell? No, it
No, it
isn't false
isn't false
that the opposite
that
of
the
heaven
opposite of
is
heaven
hell.
is hell.
It's true.
It's true.
Where is everything we read in the newspapers true? Is everything we read in the newspapers true? No, not
No, not
everything we read
everything we read
in the
in the
newspapers is
newspapers
true.
is true.
Some things are
Some
true
things are
and some
true
things are
and some
false.
things are
False.
false.
Very good. Why do you think this is so? Why do you think this is so? I think maybe
I think
it's
maybe
because
it's because
newspapers
newspapers
haven't always got time
haven't always got
to
time
make sure
to make
that
sure
what they write
that what they write
is completely true.
is completely true.
Where is it cheap to maintain a large house? Is it cheap to maintain a large house? No, it
No, it
isn't cheap
isn't cheap
to
to
maintain a
maintain
large
a
house.
large house.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
Very good. How do we translate the word it takes in Japanese? How
Oh.
do we translate the word it takes in Japanese? We
We
translate the
translate
words it
the
takes
word it
in
takes
Japanese with
in Japanese with kakaru.
kakaru. Very good. How long does it take you to go home from your office? How long does it take you
Mm.
to go home from your office? It takes
It
me
takes
about
me about 20 minutes
to go home
to go
from my
home from
office.
my office.
Where does it take longer to fly from there to Ireland than to go by train and ship? Does it take longer to fly from
Mm.
there to Ireland than to go by train and ship? No, it
No, it
doesn't take
doesn't
longer
take
to
longer
fly from here
to fly from
to
here
Ireland
to
than to
Ireland
go by
than
train
to go
and
by
ship.
train and ship.
It takes less
It
time.
takes less time.
About how long would it take you to reach the station from there if you walk very fast?
Oh,
About how long would it take you to reach the station from there if you walk very fast? It would take
I it it to take
me
me
about
to about 1 hour
to
to
reach
reach
the station.
the
From
station
here,
if from
if
here
I walk
if
very
I
fast.
walk very fast.
Oh, it's quite far then. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. What amount of money have you got in your pocket at the moment? What amount of money have
Oh.
you got in your pocket at the moment?
Mm.
I've got
I've
about
got about 100 yen
in my
in
pocket
my
at the
pocket
moment.
at the moment.
Wait, do they use a large amount of wood in building houses in your region? Do they use a large amount of wood in building houses in your region? Yes or no? Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
they
They
use
use a large amount
the large
of wood
amount of wood
in building houses
in building
in
houses
my region.
in my region
Why? Why? Because
because it's cheap.
it's cheaper. Very good.
Mm,
Does the
cheap.
what does what do 50 pounds and 13 pounds amount to? What do 50 pounds and 13 pounds amount to? 50 pounds
50 pounds
and 13
and
pounds
30 pounds
amount to
amount to
63 pounds.
63 pounds.
Very good. What does the word further mean? What does the word further mean? The word
The
further
word
means
father
the
means
same as
the
farther,
same as father,
but it also
but it
means
also
in
means
addition
in
or
addition
extra.
or extra.
Very good. Which is further from Spain, Sweden, or Switzerland? Which is further
Ah,
from Spain, Sweden, or Switzerland? Sweden
Sweden
is
is
further from
farther
Spain
from
than
Spain
Switzerland.
than Switzerland.
Very good. What's the furthest you've ever been? What's the furthest you've ever been? The furthest
The
I've
furthest
ever been
I've ever
is
been
from
is
Japan to
from Japan to England.
England. Very good. Where do you have to go if you wanted further information about train times at a station? Where do you have to go if you wanted further information about train times at a station? I'd have to go
I'd have to
to
go
the
to
information
the
office
information
if
office
I wanted
if I wanted
further
to
information
further
about
information
train times
about train
at a
times
station.
at a station.
Give me a further example of the word further. Give me a further example of the word further, please. If I fail
If I
an
failed
exam,
an
I'd
exam,
have to take
I'd have to
further
take
lesson.
further lessons.
Very good. When do we use the present perfect? When do we use the present perfect? We use
We
the
use
present
the
perfect
present perfect
when we are
when
thinking
we
about
are thinking about
time before
time
and up
before
to now.
and up to now.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Mary cannot
Mary
enter her flat
cannot enter her flat
because she has
because
lost
she has
her key.
lost her key.
Wait, what does that sentence mean? What does that sentence mean? That sentence
The
means
sentence
that
means
Mary
that
does not
Mary
know,
has not
uh, da,
known,
does not
does
know
not know
where her key
where
is
her
now
key is now
because of losing it
because of losing it
earlier today.
earlier today.
When do we use the past perfect? When do we use the past perfect? We use
We
the
use
past
the
perfect
past perfect
when we are thinking
when we are
about
thinking
time
about
before
time
and up
before
to
and
another
up
point
to another
in the
point
past.
in the past.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Mary could not
Mary
enter
could not
her
enter
flat
her
yesterday
flat yesterday
because she had
because
lost her
she
key.
had lost her key.
What does that sentence mean? What does that sentence mean? That sentence
That
means
sentence
that
means
Mary did
that
not know
Mary did not
where
know
her key
where
was
her key
yesterday
was yesterday
because of losing it
because of losing it
earlier in the day.
earlier in the day.
Very good. Okay. What's the difference between these two sentences? I ate my dinner at 9 o'clock and I had eaten my dinner at 9 o'clock. What's the difference between these two sentences? I ate my dinner at
Hmm.
9 o'clock and I had eaten my dinner at 9 o'clock. The difference
The
between
difference
those
between
two
those
sentences
two
is that
sentences
at
is that
I ate
at
my dinner
I ate
at
my
nine
dinner
o'clock
at
means
9 o'clock
I
means
started to eat
I
my dinner
started to eat my
at nine
dinner
o'clock,
at 9 o'clock,
whereas I had
whereas
eaten my
I had
dinner
eaten my
at 9
dinner
o'clock
at
means
9 o'clock
that
means
my dinner
that my
was
dinner
already
was
finished
already
at
finished
9 o'clock.
at 9 o'clock.
Where had you had anything to eat before you came to school today? Had you had anything to eat before you came to school today? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
had
had
something
had something
to eat
to
before
eat
I
before
came to school
I
today.
came to school
School
today.
today. Very good. Had you ever seen me before you came to the school? Had you ever seen me before you came to the school? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
had
had
never seen
never
you
seen
before
you
I came
before I
to this
came
school.
to this school.
Very good. When you began your lesson at this school, had you already studied some English or were you a complete beginner? When you began your lesson at this school, had you already studied some English or were you a complete beginner? When I
When
began
I
my
began
lessons
my
at this
lesson
school,
at this
I
school,
had already
I had
studied
already
some English.
studied some English.
Very good. What does the word party mean in Japanese? What does the word party mean in Japanese? The word
The word
party means
party means party
in
in Japanese.
Japanese. Very good. Do you ever throw a party at home on your birthday? Do you ever throw a party at home on your birthday? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
sometimes
sometimes
throw a
throw
party
a
at home
party at
on my
home for
birthday.
on my birthday.
Wait, which is the strongest political party in your country today? Which is the strongest political party in your country today? The
The LDP
party is
party
the
is
strongest
the strongest
political party
political
in
party
my
in
country
my
today.
country today.
Wait, do you prefer to go on holiday with a friend or in a large party? Do you prefer to go on holiday with a friend or in a large party? I prefer to
I
go
prefer to go
on
on
holiday
a holiday with a friend
than in a large
than
party.
than in a large party.
Than in a large
In
party.
in
A
than
large.
in a large party.
Very good. Okay. What does the word mad mean? What does the word mad mean? The word
The
mad
word mad
means
means
angry,
angry,
very interested,
very
and
interested,
crazy.
and crazy.
Very good. Do some people get mad when they're driving in very heavy traffic?
Mm.
Do some people get mad when they're driving in very heavy traffic? Yes,
Yes,
some people
some
get mad
people get
when
mad
they're driving
when they
in
driving
very heavy
in
traffic.
very heavy traffic.
Well, what kind of things are you most mad about? What kind of things
Mm.
are you most mad about? I'm most mad
I'm most
about music.
mad about
Music,
in music,
films,
films,
sport, etc.
sports, etc.
Where if a friend told you they had seen a UFO, would you believe them or think they were going mad? If if a friend told you they had seen a UFO, would you believe them or think they were going mad? If a friend
If
told
a
me
friend told
they
me
had
they
seen a
had
UFO,
seen a UFO,
I'd
I I would believe them.
I will. Very good friend. Very good. Okay, what happens if one pupil copies from another during an exam? What happens if one pupil copies from another during an exam? If one pupil
If one pupil
copies from another
copies from
during
another
an exam,
during an exam,
he's sent out of the room.
he's sent out of the room.
Very good. When you answer a question during a Callan lesson, should you simply copy what the teacher says? When you answer a question during a Callan lesson, should you simply copy what the teacher says? No.
No,
When
when
I
I
answer a
answer
question
a
during a
question
Callan lesson,
during a column
I
lesson,
shouldn't simply
I
copy
shouldn't simply
what
copy
the teacher says.
what the teacher says.
I should try to
I
answer
should try to
the
answer
questions
the
without
questions
waiting waiting
without waiting
to
to
hear the
hear
words
the words
from the teacher first.
from the teacher
First.
first.
Very good. If you were given two copies of the same book for your birthday, what would you do? If you were given two
Oh,
copies of the same book for your birthday, what would you do? If I were
if
given
I were
two
given
copies
two
of the
copies
same book
of the same
for
book
my birthday,
for my birthday,
I'd
I'd give it away.
I'll read both.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Mm.
Does the weather have a strong influence over you? Do you, for example, feel happy in good weather and unhappy in bad weather? Does the weather have a strong
Yeah.
influence over you? Do you, for example, feel happy in good weather and unhappy in bad weather? Yes or no?
Yes,
The
the
weather has a
weather
strong
has a strong
influence over me.
influence over me.
I feel happy
I feel
in good
happy
weather
in good
and
weather
unhappy
and unhappy
in bad weather.
in bad weather.
Very good. What is the name of the famous mouse in the cinema world? What is the name of the famous mouse in the cinema world? The name of the
The
famous
name
mouse
of the famous
in the
mouse
cinema world
in the cinema world
is
is
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
What do mice like eating? What do mice like eating? Mice like eating
Mice
cheese,
like eating cheese,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What part of the body is this? What part of the body is this? That part
The part
of the
of
body
the body
is the throat.
is the throat.
Very good. Which would you prefer? A job that gave you the opportunity to visit other countries or a job that gave you the opportunity to earn a lot? Which would you prefer? A job that
Ah,
gave you the opportunity to visit other countries or a job that gave you the
ah.
opportunity to earn a lot? I'd prefer
I
a job
prefer a job
that gave
that
me
they
the
gave me
opportunity
the
to.
opportunity to visit other countries.
Very good. What do we mean by the underdeveloped countries of the world? What do we mean by the underdeveloped countries of the world? By the
By the
underdeveloped
underdeveloped
countries of the world,
country of the world,
we mean
we we mean
those with
those
little industry,
with little industry,
agriculture, etc.
agriculture, etc.
Very good. Where was the Callan book printed? Where was the Callan book
Oh,
printed? The Callan book
the Callan book
was
was
printed in
printed
London.
in London.
Very good. Where do we find sand? Where do we find sand? We find
We
sand
find
on
sand
a beach,
on a beach,
in a desert, etc.
in a desert, etc.
Very good, just like in your background at the beach.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
When you're on a holiday, do you enjoy lying on a beach in the sun? When you're
Mm.
on holiday, do you enjoy lying on the beach in the sun? Yes or no?
Yes,
When
when
I'm
I'm
on
on
holiday,
a
I
holiday,
enjoy
I
lying on a
enjoy
beach
lying on a
in the
beach
sun.
in the sun.
Why is it difficult to live in a desert? Why is it difficult to live in a desert? It's
Yes,
difficult
it's
to
difficult
live
to
in a
live
desert
in a desert
because there is
because
so little water.
there's
So
little
there is
so
so little water.
there is so little water.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're knocking on the
You're
table.
nothing on the table.
Is there a bell in this school? Is there a bell in this school? Yes or no?
It's yes, there's
There's
a
a
bell
bell in this school.
in this school.
What do you do when you arrive at somebody's front door in order to pay a visit? What do you do when you arrive at somebody's front door in order to pay a visit? When I arrive
When I
at
arrive
somebody's
at
front door
somebody's front door,
in order to pay
in
a
order
visit,
to pay a
visit,
visit,
I knock on the
visit,
door
I knock on the
or
door
ring the
or
doorbell.
ring the doorbell.
Very good. When do people shout? When do people shout? People shout
People
when
shout
they're angry
when they are angry
or when they think
or when they think
somebody can't hear them.
somebody can't hear them.
But if there were some people shouting loudly outside in the corridor, would you be able to
Hmm.
hear me? If there were some people shouting loudly outside in the corridor, would you be able to hear me? No.
No,
If there are
if
some
there
people
were some people
shouting loudly
shouting
outside
loudly
in the corridor,
outside in the
I
corridor,
wouldn't be
I
able to hear
wouldn't
you.
be able to hear you.
Very good. Do some people use walking sticks to help them move around when they get older? Do some people use walking sticks to help them move around when they get older? Yes. Some
Yes,
people
some
use
people use
walking
walking
sticks
sticks,
to help them
walking sticks to help
move
them
around
move
when they
around
get older.
when they get older.
Well, which animals like to fetch sticks that you throw for them? Which animals like to fetch sticks that you throw for them? Dogs likes to fetch
Likes
sticks.
to fetch sticks,
Sticks that you throw for
sticks
them.
that you throw for them.
Very good. Where would you prefer to live? By a lake or by the sea? Where would you prefer to live? By a lake or by the sea? I'd prefer to
I'd
live
prefer to live
by
by the sea
than to live
than to
by
live
the by a lake.
by a lake.
Very good. This evening, would you prefer to go out for dinner or simply go home? This evening,
Mm.
would you prefer to go out for dinner or simply go home? This
This
evening,
evening,
I'd prefer
I'd
to
prefer to simple
go home
go home
than to go out
than to go
for
out
dinner.
for dinner.
Very good. Okay. Next. Here we go. How do we sometimes form a noun from an adjective? How do we sometimes form a noun from an adjective? We
We
sometimes
sometimes
form a noun
form a
from an
noun
adjective
from an
by
adjective
adding the
by
letters
adding the letters
NESS to
ness
the adjective.
to the adjectives.
Give me an example.
Give
Give me
me
an
a
example, please. Late, lateness.
late, lateness.
Very good. When did you have your last illness? When did you have your last illness? I had
I
my
had
last
my
illness.
last illness was
When?
two when I when
Like when did you last? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Oh, very good. Very
Yes.
healthy. What's the reason for tiredness? What's the reason for tiredness? The reason
The
for
reason
tiredness
for tiredness
is too much work,
is too much work,
not enough sleep,
not enough sleep,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What's the reason for darkness at night? What's the reason for darkness at night? The reason
The reason
for
for
darkness at
darkness
night
at night
is that the
is
world
that
turns
world turns
completely round
completely
every
now
24 hours.
every 24 hours.
Very good. What's another way of saying he lives on his own? What's another way of saying he lives on his own? Another way
Another
of
way
saying
of
he
saying
lives
he
on his
lives
own
on his
is
own
he lives alone.
is he lives alone.
Very good. Do you live alone or with other people? Do you live alone or with other people? I live
I live with
with other
other people.
people. Very good. Do you prefer to go on holiday alone? Do you prefer to go on holiday alone? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
prefer to
prefer
go on
go
holiday
to go on holiday
alone.
alone.
Very good. Has the lesson already finished? Has the lesson already finished? No, the
No, the
lesson
lesson
hasn't finished yet.
hasn't finished
It's
yet.
still in
It's
progress.
still in progress.
Are you already able to speak English without making any mistakes? Are you already able to to speak English without making any mistakes? No,
No,
I'm not
I'm not
able to
able
speak
to
English
speak English
without making
without thinking,
making
without making
any mistakes
any
yet.
mistakes yet.
I still make some
I
mistakes.
still make some mistakes.
Very good. Are we already in spring? Are we already in spring? No, we
No,
aren't
we
in
aren't
spring yet.
in spring yet.
We're still in
We are
winter.
still in winter.
Have we already studied stage 4 of the Callan method? Have we already
Mm.
studied stage 4 of the Callan method? Yes,
Yes,
we've
we've
already
already
studied stage 4
studied stage 4
of the Callan method.
of the Callan method.
Very good. What are the three forms of throw? What are the three forms of throw? The three
The
forms
three
of
forms
throw
of
are
throw
throw,
are
through,
throw,
thrown.
through, thrown.
Have you ever thrown anything away by mistake which was worth a lot of money? Have you ever thrown anything away by mistake which was worth a lot of money? Yes or no?
No,
I've
I've
never thrown
never
anything
thrown
away
anything away
by mistake
by
which
mistake,
was worth
which was
a
worth
lot of
a
money.
lot of money.
Very good. Okay, next. Why do some people do dangerous sports in spite of the danger? Why do some people do dangerous sports in spite of the danger? Some people
Some
do
people
dangerous sports
do dangerous sports
in spite of the
in
danger
spite of danger
because they find them
because they
exciting.
find them exciting.
Name some foods that are very popular despite being bad for the health. Name some foods that are very popular despite being bad for the health. Some foods
Some
that
foods
are
that
very
are
popular
very popular
despite being bad
despite being bad
for the health are
for the health are
hamburgers,
hamburgers,
pizza, tonkotsu,
pizza, yeah,
yakiniku,
tonkatsu,
okay,
yakiniku,
etc.
ramen.
Ramen, okay, that's
Etc.
correct. Okay, so we stop there for today, but
Ah,
very good practice.
yeah.